Hello, YouTube friends, Alicia back here with you. I have been doing some decluttering and organizing, and I came across this vintage book that I had, and I made a junk journal out of it. I obviously took the insides out and made a journal. So it's stories of the Maple Land, and then it's just a young reader. It shows us 25 cents, and it was made in Toronto, which is in Canada here. This tape here is the original tape of the book binding, and then the back, and it's in rough shape, but I don't care. I like it. And I did seal it with Tim Holtz sealer, just because it's fabric covered and it would continue to fray on the edges and things like that, and as old as it is, I want to protect it. And then I also added book corners. So a good majority of the stuff in here is vintage. Obviously not the coffee dye paper, but just about everything else is. I finally went through and used a bunch of my vintage items that I had been hanging on to. I don't use them very often in journals because I like to look at them, but like I said, when I've been decluttering and it's just time to use some of the things I really have. I already have and like. So that is what I did in this journal. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, that's like black tape or something. So yeah, let's go inside. This is the original school library paper here. And then I just put in a couple of pieces. Gold standard coupon. The theme, kind of what I was thinking for this journal, is it could be like a military wife, like, because these pictures are from World War II, I believe. Kind of having pictures of her husband and journaling about his time gone away in war. And I have one of a little girl yet I have to add to this journal. The pictures are all real. I took them out of an actual album. Vintage receipt, vintage, I don't really know what it is, but vintage something with a cow on it, which is why I love it. Vintage Easter postcard. These are vintage childcraft books. And the stamps that you see are also, they're from like the dial stamps or whatever, that it was obviously from a post office. It had all different postal things on it. Is also vintage. This, I got it fairly recently, so it's my first time using it. This was the flyleaf of the book. I have lots of these seam binding rolls. I just obviously cut it in half. I have lots of the seam binding, but how do I say this? Seam binding used to come in like these cardboard. Both sides had cardboard, and then it was just on a cardboard round, I guess. I'm not explaining that very well, but I have a whole stack of them. This was something from Sunday school. It is like crushed velvet. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And then it is written on. If you've been watching my last few videos, I've gone through a good majority of my dyed paper. I need to do a whole pile more. So, like I said, I am going through things, which is really good. I'm out of a bunch of colors, and I'm almost out of like just regular coffee dyed paper as well. So I have to do that yet. This is a vintage piece. I don't know what it was. It looks coffee dyed, but it's just aged. I love this little postulette. I think it'd be so fun to get in the mail. And I know we can still mail them. Like, they're still, you can put a stamp on them and mail them. But they're not that easy to find, I guess, anymore. Now, granted, my thrift store actually gets a lot of stuff in like this. And I haven't been buying as much just because I have so much. But, yeah, I think it'd be really fun to get vintage ephemera in the mail, like with an actual letter. I like this paper. It has praying hands on it. I don't know. It's like a parchment paper. This card is so cute. Just clipped it on. This is one of the only non-vintage pieces in here. It's Tim Holtz, but it worked. There is a letter in here, and I read it, and it's really boring. It's about a car. Somebody meeting up about a car. Another vintage card, postcard. I believe this one is in German. Yeah, this is all in German, so High German, so I cannot read it. Oh, another non-vintage piece. Not new, but not vintage. I love this. It's just like notepad paper from Dominion Transmission. And honestly, I don't know if it's vintage. I know for a fact it's not new within probably even the last 10 years. But I don't know if it qualifies as vintage. But I love the color of it. And I actually don't have piles of it. But this is my journal. And I added some of the things that I really liked that I had in my stash. Cluster. So there is lots of writing space and lots of ephemera in this journal. The pocket with pinhead packaging. This is a vintage card. This actually came from, her name was Sabine, and she lived in France. I don't know if she's still active in the junk journal world. I know years back she had some health issues. She used to be super active in Junk Journal Junkies, so I don't know where she's at today, but that is actually from her. This is just, came out of a magazine. And this is another piece I really like. This came off of a spool top. And I have lots of vintage spools, but I don't have a lot of the tops. Vintage, yeah, threads. Like I have, I don't know, probably at least 100 different threads on like the old wooden spools, and I use them quite often, but a lot of them don't have the tops on them, or that I can take off. They're stickers. Holly Hobby paper, vintage tag, and a vintage die cut, and that is the back of the book. And yeah, it is pretty marked up. I don't know if I could have scrubbed the black off and the blue off. I wasn't worried about it. It's not mold. But I did notice that, like, if you wipe it too much, the coloring of the green came off. So I didn't want to further damage the book. I just left it naturally aged. What I did do, though, is this tape here is not the original. This is a medical tape that I just inked up a little bit because I wanted more structure for my spine. So it's not a super sturdy spine, but chances of it coming apart are not very good. I mean, it's held up, 100 years at this point, almost without it being doubled up, so I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. But anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. I'm sure in the near future I'll have more videos. I am done school in about 2 weeks. done college. So I also am going to be looking for full-time, or hopefully full part-time to full-time work. We'll see what happens, but that is where I will be the next couple of weeks and what I'll be doing the next couple of weeks. But I will probably come on and share more videos with you as I do have a couple more projects on the go. Thank you for watching. Talk to y'all soon.